Hey, what's going on, guys? This is John with the Right Stuff RC, and today I just want to give you a quick overview and basically a beginner's review of the Sport Cub S. Now, this has been around for a while, but I'm just getting around. This is my first airplane, and I just want to give you my thoughts on it. So, what it comes with the, if you're a beginner, it comes with a remote control, which is called a transmitter, and a battery and a manual. And basically, the battery that it comes with is not really enough to actually enjoy this airplane. So I went out and I bought a lot of batteries, 6 batteries that I forget, 150 milliamp batteries. That cost about $3 or $4 a piece, and you get them on eBay or you can get them on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description down below for the airplane and for all these products, just in case you guys are interested. But there are a couple of things that you need when you get this airplane to actually have fun with it. To start off, the airplane is very durable. There are no complaints about that. Everything works perfectly as I would expect from a well-named brand like Horizon Hobby. The things to think about when you get this airplane: you cannot take it out with heavy wind conditions, or else you just won't have fun. It does have a servo in there to stabilize the airplane, so when it's flying, it can it's called I think it's called AS3X. It's a stabilization for flying, scale flying, so it looks smooth and it looks really nice. And with this airplane, it works really well because it looks pretty scale when you fly it the right way. So this is the remote control. Okay, it does take 4 AA batteries, which come with the airplane. It has 3 modes and it has a panic button. This is your throttle, this is your rudder, up and down, left and right. Now, at the end of this video, I want to show you guys how to bind this aircraft with the remote to the airplane so you can get up and running, because it kind of didn't make sense. I watched some videos on YouTube, but they didn't explain it all that well. But just want to go over some of the things first before I go into that. So that's the remote, or that's the transmitter. Now this is called the Selectra battery charger. This is full of big, I forget what size batteries these are called. Maybe you guys can tell me. But you fill it up with those big batteries, and you basically can charge these little batteries while you're flying. So you have one in and one in the airplane, and you're flying. While you're flying, it gives enough time to charge these other batteries, which takes only like 15 minutes, not even that, to fully charge. When you see the blinking light, that means it's almost done. These are all, this one's done because it went off, and red means that it's charging. Okay, and they come with little Velcro things with the battery packs so that you can stick them on the airplane. One thing I do recommend is that when you get this airplane, the Velcro, see the Velcro thing right here? I actually changed it out and put my own Velcro because the one they have in there is just too weak, and every time I would land, over time, the battery kept falling out, and I'd be grounded for minutes, and it just became annoying. So I changed it out with something a little bit more rugged. And this one I actually got from one of the battery packs that I bought from, I think it was eBay actually. Or, no, actually it was Amazon. So, something else to consider when you go out in the field with this airplane, you always want to have a razor blade and some glue, because if you do wreck it, you don't want to have to go home and have to repair this thing and go back to the field. So this is called an infield repair. It's by Zappo Foam Safe. You want to make sure that it's foam safe, Pro CEA. This is an activator. So what you do is you use this. For instance, my engine mount on this thing basically broke off because I nosedived into the ground because I was trying to do some aerobatics, which I'll go into a little bit later. But basically, you just use this. You squirt a little bit of this onto the part that you want to glue together, and then you spray this to activate it, and it sets up in like 2 seconds, and you're backing up and flying in no time. Must have. This is like together, I think maybe $15. Again, like I said, links will be in the description down below. Now with this airplane, it's a really light airplane. Like, I'm talking like it feels like junk when you get it in your hand, but when you fly it, you realize that it's not junk, and it's very expensive. It is a foam airplane. I don't know how much it weighs exactly, but I think it's the cheaper foam. There's a harder foam that like FMS and Fruing that makes for their jets, but you can tell it's only looks like cooler foam. These are the servos. They're very, very small. This is the landing gear that is not all that strong, but I think they designed it to be wobbly, so it kind of cocks to the right and it can go to the left, and it doesn't look very stable, but actually I think that's a good thing because it allows a lot of play for when you do your landings. Other than that, I haven't had any much trouble as far as landing. If you do have a problem out in the field, what you want to do is there's a seam here that runs along the airplane. You just cut this with the razor blade, and you'll see it if you get the airplane, and you can see the guts, and you actually can see where I made the repairs to this engine multiple times. This has gone in the ground. I mean, it's gone on the ground going full speed nosedive, and this thing is still together. I landed it in a tree. That what happened was I was flying it, and when the wind was too strong, and I got too high, and I didn't have enough power to cut through the wind, and basically the wind took it into the woods, and so I was like, oh, I'm done. I'm never gonna find it. So I went out and bought another airplane, and when I was flying that one, a couple that was walking nearby said they saw an airplane in a tree that was just hanging there. I was like, oh my gosh, that's my airplane. So I went there, and to my amazement, the airplane was still intact, and it had rained, and I thought that maybe the electronics would be ruined, but it didn't, and I put a battery in it, and now it's my backup airplane. So I would say the durability is an A+. So let's talk about the remote here a little bit. The remote control, like I said before, has throttle, left, right, up, and down, and these little buttons here are the trim buttons. So if the airplane's flying level or tends to want to fly up, then you know that it needs trim to trim it down. It needs the elevator trimmed down a little bit. And I can't go into detail about that in video because that just takes too long to explain the whole thing. There's a manual. It comes with a manual to explain how to adjust it, how to adjust the trim. So I won't go into that. That's something you guys can do on your own. But I want to go over how to bind it. All right, because I told you guys I would. So what you do is be very careful when you're putting this battery in, because it almost feels like you're going to break this thing when you put a battery in it. All right, so let's take this one since it's already done. Now the first thing you're going to do is make sure that your transmitter is off, okay? And make sure this throttle is down, all right, all the way. Plug in the battery, and what you're going to see when you plug this thing in, I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. Can you see that flashing red light in there? That means that the battery's connected and everything is good. And what you do is you just flip this battery, tuck it in the little chamber down there, and you hold it like that, and that's it, and the battery's on there. And then what you're going to do is you are just going to, I'm just going to place it there. It's going to make that noise. That just means that something's happening. So when you have the remote, make sure the throttle's down, put it close to the airplane. You want to push this in like a PlayStation or an Xbox controller. Push the throttle in and hold it, and then you press that button. It's going to make that noise. That means right now it's trying to sync up, binding, whatever. You hear the airplane go zzz, and let go. Red light's on. Airplane's elevator, rudder. It's ready to go. And that's all there is to it. Every time you put a battery in, you have to do that process over and over. But it doesn't take that long. Once you get used to it, it's quick and easy. But now I will tell you that when you fly the airplane, all you're hearing the whole time you're flying is this. Oh wait, I can't. All you hear is you just hear this the whole time you're flying. So the airplane's actually louder than the engine, if you can believe that. But overall, this airplane, it's a great airplane, you guys. I highly recommend it. If you guys have any questions about anything I've done to repair it or whatever, or you guys have any tricks for keeping this thing strong, or maybe have modifications that you've done, let me know in the comment section below. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.